Chairman, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Leon is the purveyor of that information.
Okay, we have the March 26th meeting of the Conservation Commission. We'll stand, salute the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You're like a second behind me. You're like the chorus.
I had a sniffle.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, I'll be representing two people tonight because they could not make it, the two East Beach lot owners, okay?
Okay, Patricia De Bonaventura, notice of intent, 21 East Beach Road, perform beach maintenance.
Mr. Chairman, for the sake of Patricia, I would represent her tonight. They live in Connecticut. Her dad and mother utilize 21 East Beach Road for their summer residence. They actually are in Key West right now. They have filed to grade the overwash that has come across from the storm events, Mr. Chairman. They are on the left side of the property, or rather of East Beach Road. So this would be work within the barrier beach and land subject to coastal storm flowage. They just want to move the overwash across the parcel to allow access for the trailer. There is no beach nourishment proposed on this application. However, I will still make the condition that a sample is to be provided to this office in case they do like to do that within the next coming years. So recommendations, Westport Conservation Commission should approve the request to relocate overwash materials to allow beach access to lot, or rather 21 East Beach Road, pending file number and the conditions for activity on East Beach. Sample provided to the office has to be compatible with the existing conditions, Mr. Chairman.
Time of year.
Time of year restrictions. On this case, this is a let side, so they would be relaxed of that, but yes.
All right. Any questions, comments? Motion?
Motion approved. Second.
Okay. Those Jake and Kevin. All in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous.
Chris, with the plovers, that's Oceanside. Do they have to be, people have to be done by, is it April 1st?
April 1st, yeah,
But on the
that's
let side, they could still,
correct.
right, okay.
They're starting to, the plovers are starting to get active too.
Okay.
Cummings Lane Corp., notice of intent for Cummings Lane, rebuild existing stone wall at the riverfront and flood zone. Is anybody here for Cummings Lane?
Jimmy's here. Jim, come on, bud.
Jesus. I was going to wake you up, don't worry about it.
Because of the report from DEP, although they assigned us a number, we're going to ask for continuance
All right.
because of various questions DEP had, and also, so originally the intent was just to rebuild on the face of the existing wall. DEP's talking about moving it inland. Chris had mentioned that to me too. That involves a whole different thing, so the association that's sponsoring this is going to need to meet and discuss how they want to move forward with this. So until they make a decision, I can't update any.
So you're looking for,
DEP wants you to move the seawall inward?
DEP's basically comments, salt marsh alteration must be avoided, as well as the face of the wall is the marsh. The wetland resource area goes through the other side, so by moving and doing work on the wall, you're in the rich salt marsh, plus you're also in the edge of the resource area, so they need to either move it, and my concern was mean high water is extremely close and either, so they may need to license this is my last comment,
Right.
unless they move it.
Right, and see, if we move it, now, if we were to rebuild it where it is, it's just a matter of putting stone on existing stone. If we move it, then it's gonna require excavating, otherwise, you know, frost will
Right.
knock it over. You gotta put a good ballast under a wall. All this involves additional money, additional work, so the association needs to meet to decide what they want to do.
All right,
4 weeks, Jim, we meet the 16th of April,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 2 meetings away, so that would be the best.
the 30th of April.
Yeah.
Here, have a copy of my report, because I added a few other things, just so you have it on record.
all right, okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, that would be a request for a
At any rate, I
continuance.
wanted to come make sure because of the green cards and that way the meeting.
Nope, you open the hearing, and now we can proceed with a continuance, correct?
So I'm looking for a motion to continue.
I'll
to
make a
4:30.
motion to continue to 4:30.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? All right, that was,
Thanks,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, Jim. Jake. William Fuller, notice of intent, 162 East Beach Road to grade lot, replace deck, and this is gonna be continued.
To
Because they
the
have green
16th, 4/16, correct.
April 16th, continuance, need a motion?
Motion to continue to 4/16.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? All right. That was Kevin, Jake.
Sean here?
He's right there.
Yep.
Hey,
Front
I'm
row.
looking for the back, though you're hiding.
Elephant Beach Club, notice of intent, 147 Atlantic Ave, restore coastal dune and beach with washover debris from road and flood zone on Barrier Beach. How are you tonight, Sean?
Good, good.
Thank you, Sean.
We're gonna be continuing.
Mr.
to do-
Chairman.
I'm going to recuse myself.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from this one since I'm a member of the club.
Thank you, Bert. Bert is recusing himself, we know.
This summer, you'll have to invite us down there, Bruce, so we can check it
never
out,
got
make sure
an
everything's
invite.
done correctly. Yeah.
I never got an invite.
No?
Like every weekend, you check it out.
He can hear better than Jim.
We don't have comments from National Heritage. I know the comments from National Heritage are pretty obvious. They're gonna say Pike Boulder habitat, and we all know there is on this beach. But essentially what's happened is, there are several breaches along this beach. One where there was an existing pad, about 25 foot, but basically in the same area. And what it did, it blew all this material into here and into the pond. What they have is they scrape this into a pile where all this cobble and debris with it. And what they want to do is fill in these breaches with, and any extra material, sand that they want to put back on the beach. That's basically all they do. They're planning on planting beach grass again on these breaches. I don't know if they'll be able to do that this year because of the clover being April 1st.
That yellow circle where you say they put the pile, is that the
Yeah.
parking lot?
Yeah, there's parking lot. It's an access road down here and there's a parking area in there. There's smaller piles in other places, but there's one main pile that they scraped up into that one section, and that's what they just want to fill in these, mainly these three breaches. There's another breach down here. I'm not gonna worry too much about it, but again, the three breaches that's right opposite this straight reach. The pond, this is a 2023 photo. This is probably twice the size as it is now. with the sand.
Now, the huge breach at the end, they're not gonna do in front of Ledbetter's?
There's no material to do anything with.
Well, they're gonna have to close that off, because there's vehicular traffic pulling into there almost, because it looks like an entrance to the, I
They
mean.
don't know what, we went down there, we don't know where the material went that blew through there. We don't know if it washed back out or if it, it's
Well, I
a
know a
little
lot
bit
went,
across the road.
ask Mrs. Ledbetter for it, she was looking to do something with hers. She
Yeah.
washed right down her driveway.
Yeah, there isn't that, not much of there is here. We walked down there and we were looking and it wasn't, we don't know where it went or we don't know if it's been.
Can you, for the record, Mr. Chairman, if I could just do a brief report, but for you, Sean, I recommend you put the thing there that you're gonna fix that breach.
I can.
I would
mean,
not
they have
waste,
material
why are
that's
you
not-
coming in here to just fix the few little, those things are minor, that thing is,
These two are pretty significant.
you know, that one down the end is just as significant. That's where a lot of the water came into the roadway it was. All right, I just
Chris,
do
how
a
far
quick.
did the water go on that, the big storms? Did it go
This
across
one
the
right
lake
here?
again? Did it go across the
It
lake?
went over the
Went
dunes.
Right across.
Really?
It actually went over the dunes in
Yeah,
some
her
areas.
house was the only one that survived the 38 hurricane because there was a garage underneath it. And it just blew the garage door right out and they used to be living water.
So those three breaches are just like the primary dune?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it blasted through it.
It just blasted through.
Constructed, well, let's say,
Yeah.
recreated primary dune
Yeah.
that they did over the years, correct?
Yeah, I mean, their plan is to put this back and then essentially just plant beach grass. I don't know if they'll be able to do that this year at this point because April 1st is the drop dead date, which is Monday.
Well, those are a couple specifics that you really don't have on your plan or even in your explanation on the NOI, so I think you should be mentioning planting, because that was one of my things that I wanted to for you guys to develop. Besides a beach management plan, I think this beach does have submitted me just a general letter, but the beach needs to develop some management plan to coordinate snow fencing, to have these things implemented during the fall so that they can take the advantage of the wind and create these dunes and continue to allow them to build up to protect the area.
I think the.
Skirting it, it's something, again, Baker's Beach was probably one of the first that came forward with a formal one, but also the Horseneck Beach facility, the state-run facility, but all these beach managers of these types of properties need to have those things in place. I know that they do post signs, because the Plovers one year crossed right across Atlantic Ave with the young ones. They almost got too much pressure and they got away. This beach gets very populated during the summer, so it makes the animals want to cross into the vulnerable areas, but they did. I don't know if they fledged, but that was
I
about
was
3
going to
years
forward
ago.
the management plan we have for Beach Avenue.
Yes.
To them and have them follow that. as
They could, but I'm just asking for them to submit something, and this may be a time that they could do it with this presentation available to them,
We
so.
have no problem.
I do strongly recommend continuance, Mr. Chairman. I'll forward my report to Sean, but it basically asks for that management plan. And they're starving for sand. I think there is very much places that they can achieve this goal by purchasing some nourishment material. But I strongly think that all breaches should be repaired because they're gonna keep those open so people can access the beach. And that was my last concern. Some of these areas acted as pathways. Are they gonna continue to have them as be pathways?
No, I think, and this is part of it, I think they want strictly to go around the
I think
building.
you
I don't
need
know
to
if you can
speak
stop
to the-
people from walking.
Sean, they for years have walked right from the
Oh, no.
parking lot across the street, right
I
into
think
the
this
beach.
blowout is from, she walked back and forth through here from her property.
Well, I don't know if that's where, I know she does have a parcel there, but
Yeah.
that blowout, I think, was all on Elephant Rock. But I'm not pointing fingers. I just want the club to be aware that they have a fragile system, that it needs to be managed, and with the help of that snow fencing installed during these months when you can collect sand, if they would've had snow fencing up, I guarantee you they would have some material within that breached area already.
Chris, do they not do snow fence in the winter time at all?
What's that?
Do they do snow fence at all?
No, they leave the place and leave the place, so there is no someone managing
Okay.
in that sense. And I'm not asking someone has to be on the property, but installing, erecting some sort of mechanism in a T fashion just to collect sand in the winter, and then they have that available. Then come spring, they pull the fencing out, and now they can get a machine down on the beach to spread it around.
I mean, I think they're looking to do something, because obviously this beach has deteriorated pretty quickly over the last 5 years, has really dropped off the table as far as going from sand to color. Not unlike
Well,
what-
that's something that we've been seeing right along everywhere, but I think they have a better sand source than what others have.
Yeah.
I think it's just maybe sitting out front because it got raked and pulled, but I'm not lying, a lot of that fine sediment did end up over into the Cock East area. as well.
Yeah, it's amazing that all this sand ended up over here, there's not much cobble there. You walk on it, you won't see many
Yeah,
cobbles.
well, the heavy
It's
stuff
mostly all
falls
sand.
behind, so.
I mean, the dock is basically on upland now at this point.
All right.
So, Mr. Chairman, with Sean's applicant's recommendation as the engineer of record, I request the town continue the hearing. I would bump this till the last meeting in April unless
Yeah, if you wanna
Sean,
do 6 weeks, that's fine.
At this point, you're gonna be April first anyway, right? So
Yeah.
You still wait for the state.
but they have the authority through their hiring of a bird biologist, which is one of the allowances. If you have a hired bird biologist, he goes there 48 hours in advance of work, you can coordinate with him to allow activity. So activity can be allowed on the beach afterwards, but you need to have that biologist present to do that first surveillance to make sure there's nothing in the area.
So you're good with, was it 30th?
It would be April 30th.
That's fine.
Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, unless,
Well, hopefully Carey's maybe on that time too. Ed Carey's.
oh, well, I don't know, we're gonna have eelgrass by then, I don't think so.
Maybe we should just go plant some.
All right, so we need a continuance for the Elephant Rock Beach Club notice of intent for 147 Atlantic Ave. Actually, there's no file number, right?
No, there's no file number at this time. It's
So continuance to 4:30. The motion?
Motion continue.
Second.
Jake, Jason, all in favor? Opposed? All right, that's unanimous. Give it, what are we gonna say? Continuances, Kevin Kurt.
Yep, Kevin
Notice of
Kurt.
intent, 85 East Beach Road, perform beach maintenance.
Kevin Kurt did provide us the green cards, Mr. Chairman. Kevin Kurt is the owner of 85 East Beach Road.
He's on the west side, right?
He is on the left side. He is requesting to be able to manage the overwash that had washed onto his front portion of his property and grade it to the extent of his used area. He is pending file number on this, so any motion for 85 East Beach Road to perform beach maintenance should be made pending file number from DEP.
We have the same.
Same
conditions.
conditions, Mr. Chairman, yep.
All right.
There any like dilapidated sheds or anything that we should address?
No, Mr. Kurt is probably one of the ones that originally we pushed, and he built it on a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has a mobile shed.
It's a portable dock though, right?
The dock is not anything that he is supposed to be utilizing. He tried to use it and then therefore stored it on the property after he realized he couldn't just build a dock without permits, so, that is something that we've been working with the selectmen and I to make sure these people are aware, that these things shouldn't be left behind. And we realized that with this storm, pretty significantly, so. Yeah, so I would motion for the commission to issue approval for this beach maintenance of 85 East Beach Road pending DEP file number. And I think you made a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do a second?
Second it.
That was Bert, Jacob Burt. All in favor? Opposed?
Aye.
All right, that's unanimous, so.
Yeah, didn't
You
expect
told me they
this.
came in late. Are you?
No, we're not done yet. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
I may have missed,
What's
that
your
was
name?
Jason Cummings Lane, the wall bill.
Oh,
So, yeah, so they, that had to be continued because the state had comments, and they have to deal with the state comments before they come back in. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the state came back with some derogatory comments on trying to build it in that location.
What they say.
Alteration of salt marsh must be avoided. They recommend they try to move it inland more.
Okay.
And again, there is some concerns on my part for it maybe needing a chapter 91 license, because anything that touches me in high water requires that before you try to construct something.
Yep, and I'm the abutting dock.
Yes.
to-
The other side of, oh, you're Mr. Cloutier's
Yes,
son?
I'm the now Mr. Cloutier. Mr.
Yes, you
Cloutier,
are.
yes.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, correct. That was coming right up to your side. And their intent was to build this right where it is, but I think they're finding that they may need to move it inland.
Yeah.
So in order to accomplish that, they have to meet with their organization, that is the homeowners association, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I've got 2 points in this race. Should be
Okay?
fun. Thanks, guys.
Very nice talking to you.
Thank you. All right, so, Mass,
I went to first grade in this room.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow.
wow.
Oh, man.
can you teach us?
He doesn't look that old.
Wow, that's a first, huh?
Really?
Yeah, I can It's his birthday today, pretty sure.
I think
You're older.
right next to.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Leon's son.
Happy birthday.
Is he watching the meeting from Utah?
From Utah.
He isn't?
No,
Oh, then that,
he's fine.
rescind that.
Strike the record.
Strike from the record.
All right, Mass Division of Marine Fisheries, notice of intent for gooseberry neck, eelgrass transplanting for habitat restoration of this subtitle area.
Well, as you noticed, the empty audience, Mr. Chairman, they did not notify abutters, as I had suggested. He said he was very preoccupied with other things in the department, so he is shooting for a continuance to April 16th, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we have a motion to continue to 4/16. Is that Jake?
And Kevin.
Soft-spoken Jake made the motion. Do we have a second?
Kevin.
Kevin? All those in favor? Opposed? All right. Other Business, extensions, Joel Maxwell, SE 2556574 Little Road.
Joel Maxwell, Mr. Chairman, has an existing order of conditions. He has commenced the dock construction, completed that. His order of conditions is about to expire, and he has not yet received his waterways license. And they recently had denied a gentleman's license because of his order expiring 2 days before he recorded it. So they are not wanting that to happen in this situation. So the applicant is requesting a continuance to file number SE 802556 for 3 years to allow him the adequate time to obtain his waterways license.
Do we have a bullet?
There was one. It was very stuck to the others, Mr. Chairman, because it was very,
Yeah, who's this?
that was not,
This is Joel Maxwell, right?
yeah, it was there. It was very, it's very
Yeah.
small,
Actually,
and it might have got attached to something else.
Who's that?
okay, so yeah, I got it, okay.
It was there.
Still
So
there.
this would be an extension, Mr. Chairman, again, for the, waiting for his waterways license to be issued. So a motion, or rather, I suggest a motion for approval of this 3-year extension.
All right. We have a motion, any discussion?
Motion approved.
Motion from Jake,
Second,
second from Jason.
from the Westport Conservation omission. The typo,
Where it is.
omission instead of
On the
commission.
bottom in your.
Yeah.
All in favor?
I was trying to find a way to work it in and make it funnier, but I couldn't.
You left two
No, it
items
was
out.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's unanimous.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
It's a
new
tough
one.
crowd.
That's a
Yeah.
new one for me, man. I don't usually do that one. All right. It's all losing.
You just went on and on the road.
We're all losing turf.
All right. Bills. Bill, Board of Selectmen, Conservation, tax story. Did you send us the Board of Selectmen bill?
Yeah, I keep doing that, and I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
We ain't paying for that.
I like your moxie, we're good, okay.
I'll pay for it if we have to.
Well, they sent me one for the house.
Get handouts.
They sent me.
Trying to be out on the road. He hasn't been around in a while.
They keep sending me everybody's bill.
What did you pay, though?
Thank you.
Okay, Christopher Capone mileage,
Oh, boy.
$253.26 for mileage. Yeah, for mileage. You have a motion to pay?
Motion to pay.
You have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's unanimous, that was a tough one. Tough crowd tonight. Christopher Capone, what is this one for?
The separate months.
This is,
She did them separately.
Yeah, okay.
We usually do them all together, but.
$232.16, this is for mileage previous to the bill we just paid. So, looking for a motion to pay, $232.16 for mileage.
Motion to pay.
Second.
That was Kevin and Jason. All those in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous. 67 cents a mile now, huh?
Yeah, actually went up significantly. It was 65 and a half, I think. Yeah, it's whatever the rate is for Fed.
Do you do Uber when you do it more?
I do that just to save a little extra on my vehicle, yeah.
So, is there a little like barbecue receipt tucked in there too, but you know, no big deal.
East Bay Media, this is for advertising the hearings. We have a bill for a total of $246. We have a motion.
Motion to pay.
We have a second.
Second.
That was Jason and Jake. All in favor?
Just reading the
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, going extra slow for you guys tonight.
I was reading the presentation and comparing.
Well,
I'm drinking caffeine too, maybe you need more caffeine.
As soon as he puts color pictures in front of everybody, you guys are useless.
Everyone's looking.
Yeah. You can't give these guys color pictures.
How to take you, how to
Jake
take
had his pen and he was coloring in the little letters. It's like an elementary school project. He's
Okay, so
coloring
we
stuff in.
have, for last meeting, we have Jason Paul's here, Bert, Jake, and Kevin, so you guys can vote on this. Do we have any changes to the 3:12 minutes? If there are no changes, we have a motion to accept.
Motion approved.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Aye. Okay, that takes care of that. So that is all we have for the minutes and correspondence and bills. Now we have this project site 772 Gifford Road.
Mr. Chairman and members, this is the SNEP grant that we received to design a retrofit stormwater remediation project. We chose Gifford Road, just south of the Ferry Farm on the corner, heading down towards Old County Road. Through the project, there was 5 sessions, informative sessions and training sessions where we came to a design of an infiltration mechanism, which you guys see on the last section. This is actually a slide presentation that is going to be submitted to the RFP that I'm asking you to accept. The SNEP program is offered to do at 0 cost to the town to provide us consultant services and their professional services to bring this project to 30% of a conceptual plan. That plan would be able to be utilizing for ourselves to do it in-house or to proceed out to a contract. They also will be involved throughout the project to provide support for any needs we may have. So I'm asking the town to accept their proposal through the Conservation Commission as being the head lead in this. We are working with the Land Trust and the City of Fall River in a collaboration to create this project. It actually is on the City of Fall River's land. So Daniel Aguiar, participating from the City of Fall River, has been informed and aware of what we are requesting. So I'd like to get a motion on that. The second motion to that is I would like to send a letter to the City of Fall River, and Dan Aguiar is going to be getting me the contact information, requesting their permission to have the authority to move forward not only with implementation of this, but also doing some exploratory test pits to determine the suitability of what we believe is a very permeable soil. We just have seen that there are some granite pieces of such of an old potential building that is close to where we wanted to do this. So that is the second motion, Mr. Chairman. So
Is this the south side of the dam? Is that what this is?
yeah, this would be, if you're familiar with the area, there's 2 channels to the Westport River. There was one that ran through the mill structure, which is closer towards Gifford Road,
Right.
and there's the main channel that goes closer towards Reed Road. And they come together somewhere just southerly of, I'd say, just the other side of this property. They come together. I can't think of the address.
What was there a dam?
It's almost like the senior center, right?
No. Well, between the senior
Yeah,
center
I'm
and the
saying,
opposing
correct, it's
land
on-
on Gifford Road that comes
Because
together.
right where Land Conservation Trust, they all come in.
Correct. They come to one local point.
The Ferry Farm, wasn't there like a head dam there at one point, or something like that?
There is an old historic dam, yes, in this vicinity that we also would like to bring some clarity to by removing some vegetation, by making this area. The Land Trust also has immediately adjacent to this that we're thinking of maybe incorporating some access to this side of the river and also providing some scenic of this amazing dam. I mean, this was all hand-cut stone, and it's pretty dramatic. It's very high, but you can't see it from the road. There's an old sawmill historically that ran, I think, in one location here, as well as there may have been another mill closer to the dam. So with those motions, we will move forward with this project that I think is beneficial to the town. This can be something the highway department, once they see how simple it is, may be able to implement these in other areas. It basically is an underground infiltration technique that allows the water to clean itself going through the natural earth, and then having on high times an overflow pipe. In this case, we're fortunate, we have a swale that drains from the culverts on the road that we'll be able to discharge into. So this is just not entire, this will bypass the system, but it also will help to remove some pollutant loads with some of the criteria. It's pretty effective. And this is just a solution to try to benefit some areas, especially this being a cold water fishery. This particular area was very highly desired, and the staff at SNEP, or the people involved, were very happy to see such a simple project, because some of the other projects they have that are also being considered here were much more complicated. So this was very fortunate for us. It seems to fit all the niches of what can help to benefit the water quality in that area. And with the Land Trust's help, we hope to move these to other areas. For the Commission's familiarity, Westport doesn't have any stormwater detention ponds. They have discharge directly off most major roadways. So if we could maybe implement these in some sensitive areas, giving that little cleansing, it may benefit some of these smaller cold water fisheries. It may benefit for flood storage to a point. So I think these are something that would be something we would be able to implement on our own.
Are they reasonably priced to build?
With this one we have here, yes, this is not necessarily a costly thing because of its size, but we also have some donated materials from the highway department that he has in the yard, like a leaching basin and some piping that will help to offset the cost. So I think this would be a great thing for us to move forward and work with the other people and get this to fruition, so.
Chris, is this right before you go up the hill to Ferry Brothers? Is it on the right-hand side? Is that what you're talking about? Where it's
Ferry
kinda
Farm
cleared out-
has
it's
their
kinda
own.
cleared a little bit, right?
Right, Ferry Farm has their own
Yeah.
stormwater management system that Watershed Alliance is going to be working with us and the ferries to try to upgrade that facility that was paid for prior to.
Yeah.
This is just below at the bottom of the hill.
It's kinda cleared
It gets
on
a
the right.
giant puddle on a big rain event, and everything just washes into the woods. So
Okay.
there's two basins on either side of the road, and those basins connect via a culvert to that swale. So we're gonna try to intercept the water as it comes down that hill. And we also have land uses from the neighboring driveways that pitch. They have maybe 150, 200-foot driveways. Everything comes down onto the roadway. So this is a very good area to hopefully implement this in the footprint. And again, Fall River being the landowner, obviously would need full support in that. And from so far, they seem to be willing to do that.
No support, it was costly, I'm sure.
It does, yeah, again, and it looks good for all of us as far as working in an effort to correct ongoing stormwater issues.
All right, do we have a motion? You want to state the two motions, Chris?
Yeah, a motion for the commission to accept and get into a agreement with the SNEP network for a request for proposals to design a retrofit plans for the Gifford Road area to a 30% design status at no cost to the town.
Motion,
Motion to approve.
second?
Second.
Jason, Jake and Jason, all in favor?
All right,
Opposed? All right, that's unanimous.
And the second motion, Mr. Chairman, would be to send a letter to the city of Fall River requesting their approval to move forward with this infiltration stormwater treatment on their land, and in cooperation with the city to make this come to fruition.
Okay, we have a motion?
Motion to send the letter to the city of Fall River.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
That's unanimous now. Those in favor?
All right, the last thing I have, Mr. Chairman, is it's open space update time. It's been 5 years since the last updating, and these open space plans are very essential for funding, for grant purposes, and applications. They're one of the things that is needed. I have worked with Michael Burris and the planning board to seek funding from Serpide in a matching funds with Serpide. They will provide us the expertise and some guidance in updating our open space plan to the new standards that come about in the Massachusetts review process. So I'd like a motion tonight to accept working with Serpide to update the open space plan for the town of Westport.
All right,
and utilize their expertise in helping us to create that new plan.
All right, good motion?
I move we partner with Serpentine, update the open space plan for Westport.
Thank you, Bert. Do you have a second?
Second.
Second from Kevin. All in favor? Opposed? That's unanimous, Al. What else, Mr. Chris?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
No violations this week?
No violations. And the last notice to you all, I think you heard, but we have town meeting on April 9th, so our normal week of meeting is gonna be postponed till April 16th. So if you all wanna take vacations, I suggest you do it from now to the 16th. Thank you very much.
Did we ever?
And your stipends are in the mail.
Did we ever get our money, $30,000?
Yes, we did, Mr. Chairman. That was deposited back into our wetlands fund.
All right,
All right?
makes me happy.
Chair, the only other thing I was gonna bring up is, I'm not sure if there's much public knowledge, I know it's starting to make its rounds, but the Vineyard Northeast allegedly is trying to bring cabling for a wind farm at Horseneck Beach. So, just so it's on the record, I mean, nobody was really aware of this until about, less than a week ago. But allegedly Thursday, April 18th at 5 o'clock or 5 to 9 p.m. at the Westport High School cafeteria, there will be an in-person meeting from Vineyard Wind discussing the cabling and bringing it on shore. They have a plan online that if you go to the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, you can find the Vineyard Northeast plan there. That's all I'll say at this point.
Chris, do you know, will there be a vote on this, or is this just gonna happen because that's the...
Oh, no, there has to be some acceptance of this by all means from the community, and from what I'm learning now, through the state level. The state is allowing it to come onto their state beach, which is one thing, but the way to get that utility out of the community is only up the Route 88 corridor, and that is also state property, so that would not circumvent them from notifying this community, but would it affect us in having a say in it? I would say, because it does affect the community, and it's in the community, but this would somehow is being proposed within that Route 88 layout. I do have no idea. This is kind of first coming to me, but there is significant resource areas throughout this route of this proposed activity, and would be a concern of how it is implemented.
I think there's rumors and concerns about where do you go when you get to 88? There's even rumors of substations being on Route 6 in Westport. Because how do you get anywhere else?
Well, again, I really don't know where the infrastructure is to be piped to. I do know that there is other utility easements that are being upgraded to significant extent from Brayton Point Power Station all the way up into Dayton and further into Rehoboth. So they're upgrading a lot of their utilities poles with specific heights and such. So I don't know if that's all relative to this, but I know that there are areas of our state that they were landing these cables on, and some communities have fought it. And I don't know where this stands as far as the acceptance of the community. The community could accept it because it could come with a checkbook that may be helpful for other projects in the community. So I don't know if that's why they're entertaining this at this time.
You could deal with the devil.
And before our next meeting, we don't forget to go out to vote, election day. What is it, Tuesday night?
Jay, can you repeat that? April 18th at what time?
Yeah, so it's April 18th. It says from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Westport High School cafeteria. That's
Thank
the
you.
400 Old County Road, not the new school.
Is that posted on? Where are you finding
I am finding that on the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management. It's a Vineyard Northeast project that is allegedly landing in Westport at Horseneck Beach Landfall, and in New Groton, or is it New Groton or New London, Connecticut. Those are the two locations they're expecting. It's actually New London in Westport is where they're landing.
Two
cables.
separate vineyard wind
Same.
fields.
Same
No,
project, too.
it's same project with two different landing spots.
That's a big difference, isn't it?
A little bit.
I think Rhode Island gave them the finger.
Yep,
They worked all the way around Rhode Island.
Oh, wow,
Then
that's
not-
a
I
big
believe
gap.
they did.
It's going between, is it Block Island and,
You are correct. It's right, yeah, it's
New
right,
York.
right between Block Island and the tip of Long Island,
Yep.
right in there to New London.
That's a detour.
That's a detour.
That's a detour.
And now obviously using,
Yeah.
you know, you can put your blanket on top of some warm cables. when you're
Well, I think
crossing
that's a long, well, again, there was, I do thank you for bringing that up. There was concern, I have heard, of the heat relative to what these may carry, and being under the ocean or where they may reside may be an influence to habitat issues.
Well, I think that's
How, I
go-
don't know how they're encased, or how they're buried, or how deep they're buried.
that's a concern that research is there. I mean, if you're running up 88, those wetlands won't exist. Any of the wetlands are going under along 88, which is probably 75% of 88 when you go northbound.
Yeah.
It won't be
dry
there.
off of that.
It won't be there.
Yeah.
Those wetlands will be there.
I don't know how that is true to say it would dry the land or the ground. There's gotta be insulated.
They're not going
from-
that deep.
Because if that's the case, we'd get shocked when you would, right? I'm guessing, but I think there would be measures to where that hopefully is not the case. And we
Well,
s-
the good thing is, we're gonna save the right whales by having the fast ferry slow down during certain seasons.
Oh,
It has nothing to do with the soundings for the offshore wind or the boats they use, it's only to do with the fast ferries that kill the whales.
You know, it's the first picture I've seen of the field that represents that vineyard area, and I didn't realize there was that many of those wind turbines in that
There's
type
about
of
eight
location.
proposed projects out there.
I know there's
Oh,
a
it's
bunch of them, but I never saw
insanity.
how they were almost all on top of each other.
Yeah.
It seemed, yeah, it's a
Cluster.
cluster. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
but
they were
there's-
that tight.
They're behind Nantucket now, if you look at the latest ones. Nantucket all the way over behind
And nothing's been
Texas.
sunk in the ground. The only ones that are in the ground so far are Rhode Island, correct?
It's,
Off block.
no, no,
No.
the ones are if you drew that line right between Rhode Island and Massachusetts, kinda,
Yeah.
and you went straight
Yep.
south, there's like the eastern half of Cox's Ledge, they have about 12 bases out. Or-
Already
can
in.
see 'em.
right?
Oh,
You
the
can see
bases
'em.
were there were in
The fall.
August. Yeah, there was 9 or 10 of them out there.
Good fishing around them.
They didn't want you getting near them.
They wouldn't
They'd
let you-
send boats over.
Don't
to-
worry, you'll pull up a lot of dead catch.
So they're now going to be restructuring the
Yeah.
rock, removing or relocating rock ledge to put near the bases of all these things because they require rock ledge. So they're going to be pulling rock ledge to put in different places.
Well, for support, they put them,
It's Cox's Ledge. What do you? You
need more rock?
It's good.
Yeah, that's why he shows up there so well. It's because of that
Yeah.
bottom coming up to the top.
That's it.
lobster there.
Yeah, that's a good hole, man. I remember being out there as a young kid catching tuna. So
Not
that's
anymore.
It's
We'll
unfortunate.
see. I mean,
The fish are gonna have 4 fins and 3 eyes.
4 fins and 3 eyes, and we still won't be able to catch them.
And then when it leaks the hydraulic fluid, it'll all come ashore.
Well, we're speaking out of turn. We haven't got the whole story yet.
I don't think you want the
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, okay.
Is that the
Thank you
Oh, that
for
was-
that.
that was-
I mean, it's not very good on my.
I know, but that's still the truth.